Right, good morning, everybody. My name's Liz Ferguson. I work for Wiley, where I'm surprisingly responsible for open access. It's my distinct pleasure this morning to be able to introduce the lightning talks round. This represents a change in approach from the session that we had earlier this morning and the very thorough perspective and discussion that we heard in the keynote. And here we're going to hear some very rapid-fire introductions to some much deeper work that the group of people to my left here have been doing over the course of the past months and years. This section also gives us the opportunity to diversify quite significantly the range of topics that we're able to address at COASP. And the purpose here is to give you very short, 2 minutes, and we do hold them to 2 minutes, introductions to these themes. There is no Q&A, and the reason there's no Q&A is that during the coffee break, you have the opportunity to get back up 12 flights of stairs to visit these people at their posters and have a much more in-depth discussion about the work that they've been doing. As we get to the end of the session, I'll do a very short closing wrap-up, and as our lightning talk presenters leave the stage, please let them get to the elevator first so that they are ready and positioned and primed and ready to talk to you in more depth when you've got your coffees in hand. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce first Pauline Johnson and Karen Herning from Gothenburg University Library, and they're going to talk about an exercise they've carried out in mapping APCs.
Thank you. So this is Pauline, and my name is Karin. And we are both librarians at Gothenburg University Library in Sweden. And we have tried to track the APC cost for the university the last 2 years, combining two methods. One, digging into the economy system, try to get to the invoices, and two, contacting publishers to receive the APC costs for them. And this year, it was more difficult getting the APC cost from the publisher, and we're happy to discuss this with you. Some of you are publishers, so please come and visit us.
Yes, and why have we done this? Mostly to use the knowledge that we hopefully procured to be able to make better choices about where the university put its costs. And also we put down to clarify the role of librarians as experts in this area. This meaning within the university that we should be counted as such experts when decisions are made. And if you're interested in all our results and our other ideas, you can come to our poster and ask us questions about this. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Well, as a consultant, I have the benefit of working with a lot of different stakeholders across the research ecosystem, and I think open research data is one of the topics that has really moved up the agenda in the last couple of years. So what we sought to do with this poster was just pull together some thoughts and some examples and some bits of guidance for publishers on what can publishers do to create value from open research data. And really, we grouped things into 4 categories. So firstly, it's about how do you make the case for open research data, both to your author community, to your readers, but also within the organizations. Secondly, it's about what supporting infrastructure is needed to enable open research data, so developments like Scholix to make it easy to go from papers to data and vice versa. Thirdly, we've looked at how you go about setting expectations, and perhaps starting to shift some of the social norms and disciplinary practices more in favor of sharing data where appropriate. And lastly, we've emphasized the need to collaborate with other stakeholders. So I tend to say it's a collective action problem, and so it's one that needs collective solutions. So there's lots of information on the poster, lots of references, and very happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
There is already a lot of introductory materials about open science, but we feel like there is still a need for more intermediate and advanced level training materials, and not only informative materials what open science is, but how actually you practice open science, and especially how you practice it in your discipline. And we're working with 3 discipline communities CRG for life sciences, Daria for humanities, and GESIS and CESDAR for social sciences, developing training materials on open science, reusable, open. We also have an open science toolkit with a set of online courses, and we had a book sprint where 14 authors wrote Open Science Training Handbook. Tony was one of the authors, and it's, I think, an excellent resource if you plan some open science training initiatives. And we do boot camps, training the trainers on open science, and maybe that's another opportunity to engage with OASPAR to have a one-day boot camp for those people who would like to be trainers on open science, and look forward to talking to you later. Thank you.
Thank you for this invitation. I'm going to talk about there is an inequity in global knowledge sharing because knowledge is going from the north to the south, basically. And is it possible that open access or open science can do something against that? Well, if open access and open science are just helping Western science to be more accessible for the global south, it will not help. So we will have to do something in the global south itself. And the problems that I see, and I will explain in the poster, is that there is a language problem. There is also a problem of some publishers dominating the market, which means that they can also influence what kind of journals are published. And it's basically English. And then there is also the problem that, that the people in the global south are following the lead of what we do in the West. So they are also looking at impact factors and ranking, etc. The last thing in the poster is what we are doing, the DOAJ, against this trend. And it's an ambassador program where we have basically ambassadors in the global south who are influencers, who have to tell the people there what they are doing and perhaps have more attention for the fact that you're just following the lead of the West and go for their own things and go for local journals and other languages. I explain all this a bit more detail. It's a complicated poster, so welcome when I'm ready there. Yeah, thanks.
So, good morning, everyone. Thanks to ASPA for this opportunity. Presenting this research in 2 minutes is really a challenge, but also a great opportunity to show you how university presses or how powerful book industry in Latin American countries and Spain is moving towards OA monographs, OA books. It's not only a question of the book market, but a cultural question. Publishing OA monographs in Spanish and Portuguese allows making visible and disseminating academic knowledge produced in the region, dealing with topics and approaches different from those covered by leading countries in publishing. This diversity in publishing is a crucial issue for humanities and social sciences. During the last 2 years, we have been conducted from the Spanish National Research Council and within a project funded by the Ministry of Science and Universities, the first global research on OA academic books in Ibero-American university presses, in collaboration with very relevant institutions in the region, such as CERLALC, EULAC, and ASEUC. 175 university presses participated in a survey, and furthermore, we have been conducting interviews with representatives of university presses across the region. If you are interested in the main findings of the research, we can discuss about it during the poster session. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. Yesterday we were warned to watch out for louder and braver librarians, and I'd like to share with you a growing trend in library publishing that's being done by some of us. So our poster is pretty self-explanatory. When most people hear about library publishing, when I talk to them about our work at the University of Pittsburgh, they tend to assume that publishing is for patrons at that library or people at the university where the library is. So in reality, a sizable portion of our publishing portfolio is not connected to the university beyond the fact that we publish it. We were one of the earliest library publishers to do this work beyond our campus, and more library publishers have moved in this direction recently. One example is a case study by my co-author, Emma Moles, from the University of Minnesota, and they have recently updated their business plan to include publishing for scholarly societies. This work isn't being done by every library publisher, but it is a growing trend. We've found a lot of benefits in it, including having a global reach for our university and being able to participate more actively in the open access movement. There are, of course, challenges, such as trying to tell our admin why we want to do this, and of course, dealing with ongoing confusion about the relationship between our publications and the library itself. But it is a growing trend, and we've been following it through the Library Publishing Coalition, which, if you haven't checked in on them lately, I really encourage you to do so. This group is growing. There are 125 members. 82% of them focus all or mostly on open access publishing, and they're doing some really great work in this space. So I'm happy to chat more about any of these topics at the poster, and I look forward to talking with you all. Thank you.